What is going on, YouTube world? My name is Ghiman Mckinney. Appreciate you guys for watching this video today. Be sure to smash this like button right now, as it does help these videos get to the public and the channel to grow overall. Subscribe to my channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos weekly and almost every single day if I can, and turn on post notifications too, so you don't miss single one of those videos that I post. It's only right to you guys. Man, shout out to the Cleveland Browns, guys. Yes, the Cleveland Browns got a much needed victory today, coming off a game in which they, blew it at home versus the Rams. They did play very well in that game. No shame in losing to the Rams at home, but again, if you're a Browns fan, that's a game you kind of let get away. It's a tough road environment to play in Baltimore, and Cleveland went into there and handled business. In the second half, they pretty much took the game over, and they come on top. And the Ravens, unfortunately, they didn't get it done today. So let's talk about kind of what happened. Baker Mayfield played really well today. He really did. I know the stats aren't particularly great, but I mean, when I look at 19 for 30 for about 325 yards at the time of this recording and a touchdown, okay, he played very well today. He was efficient. He was pushing the ball down the field. He was, moving the chains consistently. He was taking what the defense gave him. He was pushing the ball down the field, getting great completions, reading the defense pretty well, and he played a good game. He moved the chains. He got the job done. And, the offense put up 33 points at the time of this recording, and, Baker Mayfield ultimately had a pretty solid day. The only thing that he didn't really do very well was the interception they threw, but again, not quite his fault. If I'm Jarvis Landry, I'm probably going to try to dive for that ball, but again, Baker Mayfield played very well today. And guys, the Cleveland Browns offensive line played amazing football today as far as pass blocking goes, and run blocking too, because Nick Chubb had over 160 yards. That big touchdown that he had, that 88-yard touchdown run that he had, that pretty much broke the game open. Okay, Nick Chubb played an excellent game. And this Cleveland Browns offensive line, which has struggled these previous two or three games, they came to play today. Okay, they dominated the line of scrimmage. The Ravens were dominated up front today as far as the Cleveland Browns beating them. The Cleveland Browns won the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football today. The offensive line, which was a question heading into the season, played very well today. Baker Mayfield looked pretty good. He looked better than he did last week. He looked better than he did versus the Tennessee Titans. And he looked better than he did versus the New York Jets. This is the most complete game and the best game I've seen all year from Baker Mayfield. I mean, Jarvis Landry had a great game. Listen, Cleveland, they were without Njoku, they were without Callaway, but they still have a multitude of weapons to throw at you. The Cleveland Browns have depth at wide receiver and tight end, guys. And guys, Freddie Kitchens caught a great game too. So this Cleveland Browns team, they got a much needed win, because like I said, guys, the Cleveland Browns need to at least be somewhat around 500 after that Patriots game, because when I look at their schedule, at the 49ers, Seattle, at New England, and at Denver, these next 4 games, that's still a tough stretch of games. But the fact that Cleveland gets this much needed win on the road, it's a divisional game, it helps the Ravens lose, so that puts you in firm position in the standings. I picked the Cleveland Browns, by the way, to win this division at the beginning of the year. So again, Cleveland looks pretty good. It's a great win for them. And also, Cleveland defensively is super good, guys. They were without Denzel Ward and Greedy Williams today. They're 2 best corners, and they held the #1 scoring team in Lamar Jackson and the Ravens to 18 points at the time of this recording. Okay, so the Cleveland Browns defense played well. Their offense was efficient enough. They moved the ball. They ran the ball very well. Look, I'm going to say right now, look, it's great to get the ball to OBJ. It's great to get the ball to Jarvis, but the offense should run through Nick Chubb. Okay, when Nick Chubb is going well, this team is really good. Not to mention the fact that Kareem Hunt will return to this team at the latter part of the season. So now the Cleveland Browns can get even more of a spark plug to their offense. And their offense is still scoring points on a pretty good Ravens defense. Okay, so if you're a Cleveland fan, this isn't the whole, we're Super Bowl contenders type game. No, it's not that. Don't slow down a little bit, Cleveland fans. But again, this is a good win. It's a much needed win. Shout out to Cleveland. As far as Baltimore goes, look, I thought I was going to be wrong about the Ravens going 7-9 this season. I said the Ravens at the beginning of the year would go 7-9. And the first 2 weeks of the season, they looked pretty good. And I thought I was going to be dead wrong. But after these past 2 weeks, I don't know, man. I don't know how to feel about the Ravens. Lamar Jackson, he played okay today, but I think Baker played better. That's just ultimately what happened. Baker Mayfield played a little bit better than Lamar Jackson today. And again, this is a game that the Ravens kind of need to take. And I'm a little bit concerned if I'm a Ravens fan, because if you can only muster 18 points versus a Cleveland defense that was that did not play their 2 best cornerbacks, where you have the good weapons you have, I don't know what to tell Ravens fans. I don't know. And again, Lamar Jackson, he didn't play terrible, but he didn't shock me. He didn't blow my socks off today. He just didn't. And this Ravens offense, the one thing about the Ravens that I worried about coming into the season was, can they keep up with elite offensive teams. Now again, is Cleveland an elite offensive team? Well, I thought they were going to be an elite offensive team coming into this year. So far, the Cleveland Browns are not proven to be an elite offensive team. And maybe that changes. I think the Cleveland Browns might potentially sneak into the playoffs because the latter part of their schedule is very, very easy as the season goes on. I think Baker Mayfield and Freddie Kitchens and OBJ and those wide receivers will continue to, get better, and the offense might take off. It might be a top 5 or top 6, top 7 offense at the end of the year. But Cleveland so far has not been world beaters on offense, and the Ravens couldn't keep up with them. They couldn't. Offensively, look, the Ravens are not contenders. They're not an elite team. They're a good team. They potentially could make the playoffs. But they're not in the Patriots boat. They're not in the Chiefs boat. They're not in the Houston Texans boat, in my opinion. Now, again, I don't know if the Texans have won or lost their game. They were in a tie game with the Panthers when I last looked, I should say. So we'll see with the Texans. But again, as far as the AFC picture, it's pretty much New England and Kansas City and everyone else. I don't put the Ravens in that boat. The Ravens are not Super Bowl contenders because I just don't think that this defense is the same as it was last year. This is a defense last year that was by far the #1 defense in the league this year. Now they're missing tackles. Now they're missing assignments. And it's showing the fact that they miss Zadarius Smith. They miss Terrell Suggs. They miss CJ Mosley badly, especially due to the fact that they let Nick Chubb run for all those yards for them today. You probably would have liked to have had CJ Mosley in this game. So my thing is, if Lamar Jackson and this offense cannot continue to figure things out versus elite defenses, because you're going to have to face a Bill Belichick defense, okay? The Kansas City Chiefs defense is not super, super bad this year. It's not elite, but it's better. The Texans defense is pretty good. The Browns defense is pretty good. The Steelers defense is still decent. So my thing is with the Ravens is, can you continue to keep up with offensive teams? When your offense is not putting up consistently a lot of points, can you keep up with teams? Can you match up with teams? And to me, I gotta tell you, I haven't heard Marquise Hollywood Brown's name in about 2 weeks. Ever since that Arizona Cardinals sketch that he had, I've not heard his name in 2 weeks. I don't know if it's the play calling. I don't know if it's Lamar Jackson's inability to get him the ball. I don't know if it's just him not being as good as I thought he'd be, but I just don't see anyone in this Ravens offense that scares me. And the Ravens, look, they're a great running football team. They love to run the football, and they have a great elite offensive line. But when you run the ball, it's a little bit harder to score in bunches because running the ball takes time off the clock. It's a methodical pace. The teams like Kansas City, New England, I don't know, Atlanta, when they're right. Atlanta's been terrible this year, but I challenge you guys to look at the top 5 offenses in all of football. They're not a run-first team. The Ravens are more of a run-first team. They don't get a whole lot of big-time plays down the field, at least versus the elite defenses so far, because they put up a bunch of points on the Miami Dolphins. I mean, man, the Miami Dolphins are absolutely terrible. By the way, are the Redskins better than the Dolphins, or are the Dolphins better than the Redskins? Because I gotta tell you, the Redskins look pretty bad today. They look pretty bad. To me, I don't know if Miami's the worst team, because Miami actually is at least competing with Dallas. They are at least competing with the Chargers. The Redskins, I don't know about them. They're just bad. I don't know. Miami and the Redskins, y'all suck. Just know that, okay? But either way, getting back to my topics, my thing is with the Ravens, they just don't keep up with teams offensively, and they're a run-first team. So if their defense is not performing at an astonishing rate, they're not going to win. And you saw in the first half versus the Chiefs, they got dominated. You saw in the second half of this game, the defense fell apart. This is not the same Ravens defense from a couple years ago. And again, Lamar Jackson, he has improved. Lamar Jackson has gotten better, guys. But how much better? We have to look at this. We have to kind of monitor this. But again, shout out to Cleveland. They got a big win. I'm going to look to see how the Ravens continue to do. That fumble by Mark Ingram was terrible, by the way. That fumble they had midway through the third quarter, that pretty much shifted the whole momentum of the game. Again, Lamar Jackson, he was okay today, but nothing special. Baker Mayfield outplayed him today. The offense of Cleveland played very well. Coming off a game in which Freddie Kitchens runs the ball on 4th and 9. Oh man, I gotta tell you, Cleveland's a wild. They're a roller coaster, man. Cleveland looks so good one week. The next week they don't look very good. So we'll see how the Ravens and Cleveland look as the season progresses. I don't know if these teams are either Super Bowl contenders. I don't know if either one of them is a Super Bowl contender. I think they're a good team. I think they're both good teams. We'll have to see. But either way, that's my thoughts on this game. Big win for Cleveland. It was a much needed win. Be sure to comment where you agree with me and disagree with me. Love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video today. Be sure to smash this like button right now if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos weekly and almost every single day if I can. A fun fact about me is I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world. I want to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. Kind of like Colin Cowherd, Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp. You get the point. Okay, I want to do sports, television, and radio for a full living once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I currently am a freshman there right now. So the best thing you guys can do to just help me continue to grow as a young broadcaster is to just share this channel with all your friends, because potentially if this channel really gets somewhere, I want to start my own network, okay? Or potentially if it doesn't, or if I fall a little bit short, I want to go into a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. So the best thing you guys can do to just flat out just help me grow as a broadcaster, help me learn, get other people hip to this channel, just share this channel with all your friends, share this channel on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. Also, be sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. And once again, guys, just share this channel with everyone you know. Get everyone hipped and watching these videos. Get my voice out there and heard. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. It's been your boy, Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in today. I really do. Have a God blessed day. Stay motivated, you guys, and I'm out.